When someone you like doesn't reciprocate the energy, it stings. Every minute takes an hour to pass by, and you wait for a single text. You overthink every detail and feel the urge to reach out desperately. You feel the need to bring back the energy, get her on the phone, or meet in person to rekindle the interest as if a redo would fix everything. But you end up exactly here, again and again. It's a familiar scenario, right? If this sounds relatable, we have a lot more where this came from. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss any new guidelines. Number 8. Don't turn obsessive. Let's face it, it's not just you. All the simps have been there. They find themselves anxiously staring at their phone screens, wondering why she hasn't texted back. It's like time stands still, and nothing else matters until that reply pops up. It's time you man up. It's not always that the other person is choosing not to reply to you. Sometimes women are just busy and want a bit more room in a potential relationship to do things for themselves. Times have changed, and it's not a message that you need to take as a negative. If you're certain that she's ignoring you or not replying to you, but is active everywhere on social media, then that's where you need to take charge. Do not cave in and become obsessive. Number 7. Stop acting impulsively. This is what happens. The waiting game triggers this feeling that you need to act quickly. But beware, that's when desperation and anxiety take hold. These are two of the most unattractive traits you can show, and no girl likes a man who is too forward. Think of it as a poker game. You've already made your move by expressing interest or asking her out. Now it's time for her to respond. Just like in poker, you can't force your opponent to reveal their cards. It's the same logic. You can't force someone to respond or reciprocate your feelings. Now here's a very important part. Instead of folding under pressure or showing your cards too soon, maintain your calm and hold back as fast as you can. Resist the urge to double text and hound or shower her with grand gestures. Simply put, just play it cool, stay patient, and keep doing your own thing. And while you patiently wait for the right moment to make your move, allow her the space and time to respond naturally in return. Number 6. Don't depend on others for your happiness. The thing to remember here is that your happiness doesn't hang on anyone's opinion or approval. You've got your own destination, and no one's reaction should knock you off course. Autonomy is like confidence at its finest, because you'll know you'll be fine, no matter what. It's not just about being attractive to women. It's a mindset that propels you further in life. When a guy says that he wants to become fully autonomous, he's really onto something. He's putting in the effort, grasping the idea. But the truth is, the only way to truly embody autonomy is when we're thrown into the testing ground. It's a bit harsh, but it's true. Here's a life nugget. Your genuine traits only surface when put to the test. It's a walk in the park to be self-assured and independent when the going is smooth, but not when there's just a long road stretching ahead of you. That's why we often advise people that, consciously or not, women test a man by pulling back to gauge his response, because they've been given promises before, and they just don't want a man to have that place in their life. That is autonomy. Do you turn into a sensitive soul when she takes a day off, but give her space? Do you transform into a people-pleasing nice guy? These are the signals she's on the lookout for. Women are not averse to falling in love, but it's only good to be sure before you jump. And the only way that she knows a guy really is autonomous, if he really is as confident as he's portraying himself to be, is to test him. Number 5. Use the situation to your advantage. Here's a valuable mindset that you want to be aware of. Anti-Fragile, a book by Nassim Taleb, is a philosopher delving into randomness, probability, and uncertainty. The main takeaway is simple. Fragile things crumble under stress, but anti-fragile things not only endure, but become stronger. The most successful individuals and businesses, basically anything noteworthy, are like anti-fragile entities. They thrive amidst disorder, stress, and chaos, emerging even more robust and self-sufficient. That should always be the goal. You might be thinking about how the idea of being anti-fragile helps you. Well, when you're dealing with the stress and chaos when she's ignoring you, you can flip the script. Instead of letting the waiting game trigger neediness and desperation, use it as a catalyst for autonomy. Let the uncertainty be a nudge to get back on your path. to take actions that propel you toward your broader life goals. It's not just a reminder. Make it a chance to become stronger. Do something that moves you forward. Take a risk with another girl. Strike up a random conversation with someone new. Number 4. Don't let one failure decide your worth. Here's the kicker. Remind yourself that if things don't pan out with her or any other girl, there are more fish in the pond. The world is teeming with possibilities. Alternatively, invest your time in activities that reaffirm your autonomy. Listen to an insightful podcast, read a book, learn a new language, or acquire a new skill. Does that resonate with you? A woman who is headstrong will be in control of her life, and no woman like that wants to coddle a man. They want someone who's in control of their life as well. This is what they find attractive, not being as needy as a baby. Do things for yourself without the intention to impress anyone or to establish a relationship of dependency, and you'll find yourself in a better situation when it comes to women. The cool side effect of that is it naturally makes you more attractive to girls. It's like women have this sixth sense, picking up on whether you're needy or unfazed when she doesn't call. Trust us, she knows. Now, none of this means you're giving up. We're not telling you to give up. You're doing something unattractive, which is also preventing you from flourishing, which just might be the real problem. And this is really important, from doing something unattractive like texting, or something that's going to make you cringe later when you read what you sent her. So you'll be in a much better spot with her, no matter what. Number 3. Change what can be changed. Basic dudes misread a situation like this as a reason to become sexist or start blaming women for making them feel horrible. But that is the opposite of what you should be doing. Instead of blaming others for your problems, taking stock helps you identify your flaws without becoming crippled by your past errors. What you can't do is go back in time and fix things. But what you can do is make sure you don't make the same mistakes again. Look into what could be done differently and try to do so with an open mind. Why did you double text her? Was it a good choice to constantly ask personal questions? Sometimes, even the women who are into you get turned off because of a specific question, and not really because they don't like you as a whole. Number 2. Don't let your expectations get the best of you. On a more relatable note, approaching interactions with zero expectations is a total game changer. When you engage in conversations with girls without anticipating a particular outcome, the dynamic tends to flourish. It's almost a perfect paradox. The less you expect, the more likely it is to actually go well. Expectations have a sneaky way of making you try too hard, creating an air of desperation. It's almost as if the universe picks up on that energy, and things head south from there. And you've probably seen how that works out for you. When you adopt a carefree, no-expectation mindset, the interaction tends to unfold organically and pleasantly. The lack of pressure frees you to be yourself, fostering a more authentic connection, which you will learn is what most women want, especially in the early days. Promises and hounding her is the opposite of organic. It's forced. So when the silent rejection does happen, or you're being ghosted, the sting is considerably less. It phases you much less than it would otherwise. The absence of expectations acts as a shield, cushioning the impact. Number 1. Speak your mind. This is the most important thing to do, but also the hardest. Don't be afraid to speak your mind when talking to someone you like. You might think that the girl you're talking to would like the person that you are showing yourself to be, but what most women expect is honesty. They'd like to know who you are, with all your flaws and imperfections. Pay attention. If you think that pretending to be someone is going to turn out well for you, you're wrong. It spells disaster. And more importantly, when you don't speak your mind, your opinions show in your actions. And that can be one of the biggest turnoffs. Someone being the opposite of what they claim to be. Honesty is the name of the game here. So be open and honest, and don't overdo it. Now, you just have to do one thing. Use these tips to re-engage a girl who's gone cold, and learn to deal with rejection like a man. If you found these insights valuable, show some love by hitting the like button and subscribing. We've got tons of videos delving into strategies for winning her back. Drop a comment to share what topics you'd like us to tackle next. Thanks for watching.